Hi everyone, very good afternoon and welcome back to CUET by CGB Mentors. So in this particular class, we will be talking about everything on financial statements. We will be talking about the common size as well as the comparative statements. So let us start the class. See, whenever we talk about financial statements, what is specifically we are referring to? Financial statement is a way, ये एक तरीका है कि आप अपने stakeholders को बता पाएं that what are the assets with you, what are your liabilities and at the same time what is your profit position, आपकी profit position कैसी है, fine, what is the cash flow position of yours, and these are all the facts that we try to tell our stakeholders in financial statements. आपके stakeholders कौन होंगे? Your employees, your creditors, the debtor obviously they would not like to see that, but apart from that government, टैक्स अथॉरिटीज़, दे ऑल एक्ट एज योर स्टेक होल्डर. ये सभी के सभी कौन होते हैं? ये आपके स्टेक होल्डर्स होते हैं who would like to see how you are performing. ठीक है, आप किस तरीके से परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं वो लोग देखना चाहेंगे. So now meaning of financial statements, whenever we talk about it, owners, investor, tax authorities and employees, we want to inform them how we are doing based on what is my asset and liability position. This is clearly depicted in balance sheet. आपको साफ साफ दिखाई दिया जाता है बैलेंस शीट में. प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस में आपने कितना प्रॉफिट या लॉस हुआ, आपको कैश फ्लो में व्हाट इज द कैश मूवमेंट पोजीशन. नाउ what is the nature of financial statements? See this. So these financial statements are based on financial facts, accounting conventions, etc. Now there are few conventions. Number one, whenever financial statements are made, the transactions are recorded on cost. जब भी financial statements बनाए जाते हैं, transactions को historical cost basis पे लिखा जाता है. क्यों? Because there is a cost concept which tells you that you should record your transactions at cost. अगर मान लीजिए मैंने कोई शेयर 50,000 रुपए में खरीदे, right? This is the cost that I have incurred. Now at what price I should, at what cost I should recognize this in my books? At 50,000 only. ठीक है. अब मान लीजिए कल को इन शेयर्स की प्राइस और बढ़ जाती है, राइट? दी शेयर्स वैल्यू इंक्रीजेस over the period of let's say 4 or 5 days. So shall I change the value of shares in my financial statement? Answer is no. ठीक है, आप चेंज नहीं करेंगे. So similarly there are some assumptions as well. Going concern, going concern का मतलब क्या? ओनर्स या मेंबर्स आए या जाएं, ये कंपनी चलती रहेगी. आई रिपीट, ओनर्स और मेंबर्स दे माइट कम, right, they might go, but the company will keep on continuing. Money measurement means the transactions which can be recorded in the monetary terms, only those will be recorded. Next, realization. Realization का मतलब if I have sold some goods, अगर मैंने कोई goods बेचे हैं, then I shall recognize the revenue only when I do not have any doubt regarding the collectibility of revenue. ठीक है, मैं कब अपने books में revenue को recognize करूँगी? When I do not have any doubt on the collectibility of revenue. जब कलेक्शन पे मुझे कोई डाउट नहीं है तब मैं रेवेन्यू को रिकॉग्नाइज कर लूँगी. फाइन. देन वी ऑल नो what are the objectives to find out what is the earning capacity of the business, how much business can earn. कैश फ्लोज को रिपोर्ट करने के लिए, मैनेजमेंट की एफिशिएंसी इवैल्यूएट करने के लिए एंड डिस्क्लोजिंग द बिजनेस एक्टिविटीज अफेक्टिंग सोसाइटी. तो अगर आपकी कोई ऐसी बिजनेस एक्टिविटी है विच इम्पैक्ट्स द सोसाइटी, राइट, और देयर आर सोशल इम्पैक्ट्स ऑफ इट, देन ऑल्सो दिस इज ऑल्सो द वर्क ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स टू डिस्प्ले. नाउ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स में क्या क्या आता है आपका? बैलेंस शीट आएगी, P&L आएगा, कैश फ्लो आएगा, राइट? Balance sheet, P&L, cash flow. In this particular chapter, we will be talking about balance sheet and P&L. इस chapter में हम balance sheet and P&L के बारे में बात करेंगे. And in the upcoming chapter, we will be talking about cash flow. ठीक है, आने वाले समय में हम cash flow के बारे में भी बात करेंगे. Fine. Now, what is the structure of balance sheet? I divide the balance sheet in two parts. मैं balance sheet को दो भागों में बांटती हूँ. Number one is the liability side. Number two is the asset side. एक आपका लाइबिलिटी सेगमेंट हो गया, दूसरा आपका असेट सेगमेंट हो गया, ठीक है। लाइबिलिटी सेगमेंट में आई डिवाइड इट इनटू 3 पार्ट्स, 3 पार्ट्स में मैं बांटूंगी। नंबर 1 इज कैपिटल ऑफ द ओनर, ओनर कितना पैसा लेकर आया। नंबर 2 नॉन करेंट लाइबिलिटीज, नॉन करेंट लाइबिलिटी का मतलब क्या हुआ आपका, such kind of liabilities which you will pay off in time, you need a time of more than a year to pay them off, एक साल से ज़्यादा समय लगेगा। and current liabilities are those liabilities which will be paid off within an year, जो एक साल के अंदर अंदर पे ऑफ कर दी जाएंगी। got this? so let's see this equity and liabilities. number 1 you have shareholders fund, shareholders fund में क्या क्या आएगा, शेयर कैपिटल, दैट मीन्स द अमाउंट दैट वुड बी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटेड बाय द ओनर, ओनर कितना पैसा लेके आया और द मेंबर्स हाउ मच मनी दे हैव ब्रॉट इन। आफ्टर दैट यू हैव रिजर्व्स एंड सरप्लस, रिजर्व्स एंड सरप्लस का मतलब क्या हुआ यहाँ पे, दैट व्हाट इज द अमाउंट दैट यू हैव अर्न एंड यू हैव सेव्ड आउट ऑफ योर प्रॉफिट्स, आपने प्रॉफिट्स में से आपने कितना पैसा बचाकर रखा। आई रिपीट, आपने प्रॉफिट्स में से आपने कितना पैसा बचाकर रखा। मनी रिसीव्ड अगेंस्ट शेयर वॉरेंट्स, ठीक है। यहाँ पे सपोज इफ देयर हैव बीन कूपन्स एंड you have received money for it, so you will keep it in this particular segment until and unless it gets converted into share capital. जब तक कि ये share capital में convert नहीं होता तब तक आप इसको यहीं रखेंगे। फिर non current liabilities, long term borrowings, deferred tax liabilities and provisions will be counted over here. Current liabilities में short term borrowings, trade payables and other current liabilities. Any amount that you will pay off within an year, ऐसा वो सारा पैसा जो हम एक साल के अंदर अंदर पे ऑफ कर देंगे। Then you have assets. Assets are of 2 types, non-current assets and current assets, right? Non-current assets का मतलब किस तरीके की assets हुई आपकी, which will be there with you for a period of longer than an year, जो आपके साथ एक साल से ज़्यादा समय के लिए रहेंगी। एंड देन यू हैव योर करंट असेट्स, करंट असेट्स जो एक साल के अंदर अंदर कैश में कन्वर्ट हो जाएंगी, राइट। Those assets which will be converted into cash within a period of an year, they are called as a current assets. हम उनको क्या कहते हैं, current assets, right? Now let us see the key presentation feature. It applies to all Indian companies. Accounting standards are applicable on the preparation of your financial statements. Financial statements आपको key financial details बताते हैं. It should be in a clear manner and figures should be rounded off. ठीक है, based on company's turnover. If the company's turnover is in lakhs, so it should be rounded off in that. If the company's turnover in crores, then it should be rounded off as per that. Now next I have classifications. देखिए current classification क्या, it is a part of entity's operating cycle. It is expected to be settled within 12 months, primarily held for trading purposes. It's a cash or cash equivalent and company does not have a conditional right to defer the settlement beyond 12 months. See, by reading this I have one understanding of this particular fact, that this will be settled within a period of 12 months. I repeat, this would be settled within a period of 12 months, right? Now share application money pending allotment का मतलब क्या होता है, the amount that has been received from the investor but till date allotment has not been made. तो जब तक allotment नहीं किया गया है, it's a liability for the company. So where it will appear in your balance sheet in the liabilities segment. जब तक कि आपने settle नहीं किया है तब तक, जब तक आपने allotment नहीं की है तब तक ये आपके लिए क्या है, liability. Okay? Borrowings में loans which are payable beyond 12 months, they are called as non-current liabilities. Short term borrowings कौन सी होती हैं, loans repayable within 12 months. And what are the current maturities of long term debt? So amount repayable within 12 months from reporting date, they are included in other current liabilities. Now what is deferred tax assets or liability? Deferred tax asset या फिर liability क्या है? See, sometimes tax liability as per our financial statement is different, ठीक है, if we calculate it from the angle of income tax act. तो basically कहने की बात ये है कि if the tax liability has been calculated as per Companies Act provisions versus if the tax liability has been calculated as income tax provisions, मतलब कि आपके Companies Act के provisions और Income Tax Act के provisions में फर्क हो सकता है, ठीक है। और अगर ये फर्क है so it will result in deferred tax liability और deferred tax asset. अगर आज आपका liability कम है और आपको लगता है कि कल पे करना पड़ेगा, so that's a liability, tax liability. If you think that today we are paying more but we will get the benefit of it tomorrow or in the next taxation cycle, so it is called as deferred tax asset. अगर आप आज ज़्यादा पे कर रहे हैं जिसका बेनिफिट आपको बाद में मिलेगा तो वो deferred tax asset है, और अगर आपको आज कम पे करना पड़ रहा है बट आगे चल के ज़्यादा पे करना पड़ेगा डिपेंडिंग योर फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स, so that is called as deferred tax liability, right? Why this kind of difference arises? Because of your depreciation method or revenue recognition methods. Trade payables क्या होते हैं? These would be paid within 12 months or the operating cycle. Proposed dividend is a contingent liability and shown in the notes to account. This is not recorded as liability unless approved by the shareholders. ठीक है, तो जब तक कि shareholders approve ना कर दें, this is not your liability and you will show this as a part of your contingent liability. आप इसको कैसे show करेंगे? Contingent liabilities की तरह. Then you have provisions. Provision is short-term provision expected to be settled within 12 months. Long-term provision, any other provision, they are called as non-current liabilities. अब हम asset side में आ जाते हैं. Fixed assets, these are assets which will be there for a period of longer than an year. एक साल से ज़्यादा टाइम पीरियड के लिए आपके साथ में रहेंगी, जैसे कि मशीनरी, जैसे कि फर्नीचर एंड फिक्चर्स. देन यू हैव इन्वेस्टमेंट्स. करंट इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, दे आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू बी रियलाइज्ड विद इन 12 मंथ्स. 12 महीने के अंदर अंदर रियलाइज हो जाएगा. जैसे कि आई एक्सपेक्ट that I will be able to take the money from my investors within a period of 12 months. मुझे लगता है कि मैं अपने डेटर्स से 12 महीने के अंदर अंदर पैसा ले पाऊंगी. So that is why I am calling it as a current assets. इसीलिए मैं इसको as a current assets बोल रही हूँ. Right? Now next you have inventories. So they are always classified as current assets. Trade receivables expected to be realized within 12 months. And obviously cash and cash equivalents, they are always current assets. Now revenue में आपका क्या क्या item आता है? What is the amount that you have sold? If you have the factory of manufacturing biscuits, that is your operating activity. आपका main काम क्या है? बिस्किट बेचना. So बिस्किट बेचने से जो भी इनकम आएगी, that would be part of your revenue. अगर मान लीजिए आपने कोई मशीनरी बेची है, you have the business of selling biscuits, but you have sold some machinery, so that is not your core activity, and that is why it would not be included under revenue. It would be a part of other income. क्या होगा ये? Other income, but it would not be your revenue, right? Sale of services, income earned from providing services instead of physical goods. फाइनेंस कंपनीज के लिए इनकम क्या होती है? इंटरेस्ट इनकम, डिविडेंड इनकम एंड फ्रॉम अदर फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज. सो व्हाट इज अ फाइनेंस कंपनी? जैसे कि एक बैंक हो गया, राइट? किसी बैंक के लिए इनकम का सोर्स क्या होगा? द इंटरेस्ट दैट इट रिसीव्स ऑन दी लोन्स. ठीक है, इन्होंने कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट्स किए हैं, सो द डिविडेंड रिसीव्ड ऑन इट वुड बी इनकम. फाइन. Then you have some other income like interest income, dividend income, net gain or loss on sale of investments, other non-operating income, right? So खर्चों में आपका क्या क्या खर्चा आ सकता है? Like cost of material, raw material cost, fine. What is the stock that you are having? The difference between closing and opening, जो भी है वो आपका क्या हो जाएगा? खर्चा. Change in inventory. What you are paying to your employees? Salary, leave encashment, staff welfare cost, right? All these costs will form part of your expenses. इसके अलावा इफ यू हैव बोरोड समथिंग यू मस्ट बी पेइंग इंटरेस्ट ऑन इट. अगर आपने कुछ भी बोरो किया है तो आप उसके ऊपर क्या पे कर रहे होंगे? इंटरेस्ट. So interest on debentures, term loans, working capital loans, interest on bonds, lease payments, they all are taken under finance cost. Then depreciation. See, any asset that you buy in, it wears and tears, right? इसका मतलब क्या कि टाइम के साथ साथ असेट की वैल्यू कम हो जाती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आज मैं एक मोबाइल खरीद रही हूँ तो एज सुन एज आई विल परचेज इट और मेरे हाथ में मोबाइल आया, उसकी कॉस्ट कम हो जाएगी, राइट? उसकी कॉस्ट कम हो जाएगी. सो डेप्रिसिएशन, रिडक्शन इन द वैल्यू ऑफ टेंजिबल असेट्स ओवर टाइम, amortization, writing of the value of intangible assets, right? Now next you have analysis of financial statements. अब analysis of financial statements कैसे करें? इसके कुछ तरीके हैं, जैसे कि comparative statements, common size statements. Comparative statements में different years को side by side लिखा जाता है so that it helps us in comparison. Common size statement में क्या होता है? It expresses financial item as a percentage of a base year. तो इससे हमें साइजेस और चेंजेस का पता चल जाता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यहाँ पे मुझे पता चलेगा कि ओके 2019 की इनकम 2020 की इनकम के कितने बराबर है. वेयर एज इन कॉमन साइज आई विल गेट टू नो दैट व्हाट इज द परसेंटेज ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल कॉस्ट if I take sales as a base, right? So what is the raw material cost to the sales? What is the figure for that? तो मुझे इस तरीके से item wise पता चलता है. We can do ratio analysis, we can do cash flow analysis. So comparative and common size this we'll do today and ratio and cash flow we'll do tomorrow. आइए देखते हैं. So how does comparative statements look like? You will have P&L, you will have balance sheet. Now let us see how we will show that. ठीक है, कैसे दिखाएंगे? See, this is the example. You have the balance sheet 2017, 2016. ये previous year, ये current year, right? Always remember आपका base क्या बनेगा? Current year. आपका base क्या बनेगा? Sorry. Your base would be your previous year, पिछला साल, base year. So now let's see this. What I have done, written the figures of 2016, 2017. What has been the change? 15 से share capital 20 हो गई, तो 5. Now this 5, what I'll do? Just a second. Okay, let's see this. This has changed, right? Let's suppose this is crores, तो 5 crores हो गया अब. तो ये percentage कैसे आई? The change divided by base multiplied by 100, right? The change divided by base multiplied by 100. Similarly, reserve and surplus कम हो गए 1 crore से, so 1 divided by 4 multiplied by 100. 25% change हुआ है as compared to base year. Now you can see same we have done for long term borrowings. 6 करोड़ से 9 करोड़ हो गया, 3 करोड़ बढ़ गया, so 3 divided by 6, 50% का change आया है. Similarly for others. So this is in the same format. You don't have to do anything. आपको बस चीजें लिख देनी है. Absolute change, percentage change, ठीक है. This is your comparative. Common size में क्या हो रहा है? देखिए, this is the statement और आपको common size income statement बनाना है, ठीक है भाई. हम अब इसको format में लिखना शुरू करते हैं. Okay, I have written this. See, 2015-16, 2017, 2016-17. दोनों साइड के स्टेटमेंट्स लिख दिए. Now I'll find out the percentage of 2015-16 and 2016 and 17. कैसे? So see this. Revenue from operations is 25 lakh. Cost of goods sold is 12 lakhs. So I'll take it as 100. This is my base. ये दोनों मेरे बेस हैं, ठीक है, इसीलिए यहाँ 100 लिखा हुआ है। नाउ व्हाट इज दिस 12 लाख, इसका क्या रिलेशन है रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम ऑपरेशन से? सो 12, जस्ट अ सेकेंड, yes, see this. So how we will be able to calculate this 48%? 12 lakhs divided by 25 lakhs multiplied by 100. इसका मतलब cost of goods sold is 48% of sales. Similarly, how this 52 we have arrived at? So 13 lakhs divided by 25 lakhs, right? This is what your, yes, see this. So 13 lakhs divided by 25 lakhs multiplied by 100. Operating expenses 1,20,000 divided by 25 lakhs. This is how you will calculate percentages. Similarly, let's calculate for this year as well, 2016-17. So 18 को हमने क्या माना है? 10 lakh 100. So 18 by 18. यहाँ पे what is the percentage of cost of goods sold to sales? 10 lakhs divided by 18 multiplied by 100, right? Then 8 lakhs divided by 18 multiplied by 100. Then you have operating expenses 80,000 divided by 18 lakhs multiplied by 100. So in the common size, what you try to find out, you want to write this in percentage format, and with what you compare? You take revenue as your base item and then you compare it, ठीक है? So this is both your comparative and common size statements. Stay tuned for ratios and cash flow tomorrow.